Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Courageous Curiosity Podcast. Here today because we're kind of curious about how our winter sports teams are doing this year, and also how winter sports are a little bit different from our fall and spring sports, and just some of the unique opportunities and challenges that come with competing in the winter. Some are indoor, some are outdoor. And, this is awesome because we get to talk to 4 of our student athletes who are exceptional and are excelling in their various sports. And it's going to be really great to hear from each of them. So what I'd like to do is just start by allowing each of you to introduce yourselves. We have Camber here from our skiing team. We have Chase, who's here for basketball. Maddy is here from bowling, and then we even have Drew, who's here from diving. And so I want to give each of you an opportunity to just kind of give your 30-second, elevator pitch on who you are, what you do, kind of your grade, all of that kind of stuff. So, Drew, we'll start on the end with you, and we'll kind of go this way.
All right, hi y'all. I'm Drew. I'm 11th grade. I started diving my freshman year, and it's been super fun to just kind of get better and just see where I can take myself in my sport that I love.
Now, you started diving when you were a freshman. You hadn't done any diving before that. I mean, were you in the pool swimming and stuff? Or?
Yeah, I actually used to be a swimmer, and I grew up with a trampoline, so that might have helped me a little bit.
Okay, all right.
But I didn't really have a gymnastics background, so that would have helped me. But
did you ever bounce off the trampoline sideways and fly off of it, or try to do things to jump off of it, or did you have one of those protective nets on the side?
No, we didn't have a net, so sometimes we'd jump over our neighbor's fence for fun.
Oh, sure. Yeah. There's always things like that happen, and I always used to get pinched by the springs.
Oh, yeah, that's annoying.
That's an automatic.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, thank you, Drew, for being with us. Chase, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Chase. I play for the Novi basketball team. We recently just beat Northfield to win the KLA West, and now we'll play Wayne Memorial for the KLA title.
That's awesome. And are you a senior?
I am a senior.
Okay. All right. And you've been playing basketball since how old?
Probably when I was 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
And I was a former basketball coach myself, and my son plays. Did you play for the Novi Cats and all of that growing up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Cool. So you've been doing this for a while, and congrats on the championship. I know we're going to talk more about that, which is really, really cool. So, all right. So Camber, give us your update.
My name's Camber Smith, and I'm a senior. I've been ski racing since my freshman year. And
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ski with your family before that?
Yeah, we would go once a year since
Okay.
I was about 5.
Out west or?
No, my mom isn't a really big skier, and my dad tore his ACL a few times,
Oh,
so we
no.
don't really go out skiing that much. We just go up to Boyne, small stuff.
That's impressive that you've had such success just doing it since your freshman year. So it's very, very cool. And I happened to see our border cross girls just qualified for state yesterday. It was
really?
Opportunity to see them. So, but I know skiing and border cross are totally separate things, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about that too. So, Maddy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Maddy Gazzarari, and I'm on the Novi bowling team here at Novi. And I was just really excited to be able to compete for high school because it's such a unique sport that not every school offers it.
And when did you start bowling for the first time?
I've actually been bowling since I was 4 years old.
Wow. Did your parents get you your own bag and shoes and all
Yeah,
that?
I had it all. My family grew up bowling, so
Okay.
it was just passed on to me.
That's awesome. Do you put English on the ball? Do you spin it?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming most high-level bowlers like yourself probably do that. I just roll it straight down, but you get a lot of splits that way. So I'm more of a recreational bowler, but I'm excited to hear a little bit more about your experience as well. So thank the 4 of you for being here. I'm going to turn this over to anyone that wants to take the question, but I'm really, really interested to hear just what's your passion? What drives you in your sport? So what do you love most about your sport? It could be, something related to the overall competition that you're in. It could be something unique to the sport that you participate in. But what really drives you and makes you enjoy what you do in your sport the most?
I would say what I love the most is like just the processes of getting better, because there's some days where just things aren't working, but even thinking about like how we can make it right, it's like a win just thinking about it. So just processes of getting better, and then always having someone that you want to beat, just making it competitive. That's always what I love about my sport.
So you'd consider yourself to be pretty competitive person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that will help you in a lot of other areas of your life, right? When you think about as you get older, you're thinking about preparing, and you just talked about getting better every day. I mean, that's like a life principle that you can carry with you. So great insight. Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I just love the community of the sport. It's one of those sports where we practice with our competition every single day. So, like, I've gotten to know a lot of the girls on other teams, and honestly, it's helped me grow to be better. We all say good luck to each other before our runs, even though it's our biggest competition.
Sure.
And, like, you're put into fights with people who you're going to be, like, neck and neck against, and just everybody knows each other, and it's really nice in a sense because it's different from like a lot of other high school sports. And obviously I love the competition, and I love the adrenaline of going down the hill and being your only focus.
That's awesome. It's interesting how you talked about it's almost like there's almost a community, in the skiing world that you're starting to build with, students from other schools and things like that you're developing relationships with. That's really, really cool. And another thing that's really important, I think, is that sports gives you an outlet to build connections and relationships with people that you'll probably have for a long time.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, like, for mine especially, the mental game of it is just, like, something that's, like, unmatched. Because if you don't think you can do well, and if you don't think you can throw a good shot, then you're not going to.
Sure.
So you have to have the right mindset. So it's just not a physical sport. It's also a lot of mental game.
It takes a lot of focus.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like also really similar with diving. It's just mostly a mental game. If you have a bad thought like before your approach, then it's like more often than not you're gonna mess something up. So just gotta think on the positive side.
So for diving and bowling, you probably have to do a lot of like mental exercises, right? Like you got to be focused, you got to be able to zone out those distractions and things like that.
Yeah, so it's usually like, because it's not really physically challenging. So like you don't really need to be strong for it. It's just like you kind of have to like just stay in your own lane and sometimes just lock in, I guess.
That's awesome.
Same with basketball. Basketball, a lot of people think it's like a physicality sport, but it's more like mental, because like if you're like not making like shots and like you get down on yourself, and like that like affects your game and affects like other people, because like basketball is like a team sport. So
yeah, and if you don't have confidence, right, that you can make the next shot, then you're going to take less shots, and therefore you're going to be less effective, right? Especially if that's one of the areas that you bring to the team. So I really appreciate all of you kind of sharing just kind of what you enjoy most. I want to get into some of the particulars, and Maddy, I'm going to start with you. So this year, in super successful season for you, you led the KLAA with a 209 average. You were the only bowler in the entire league with an average over 200, and now you're getting ready for regionals and things like that. So just talk a little bit about the success you had. What an incredible season. Obviously you bowled a 290, which I think is unheard of. So what kind of goals do you have, and what are you doing now to prepare for regionals?
Definitely the whole season has like led me up to this, and I'd say my past experience, being the regional champ, it definitely comes with a lot of pressure now. It's like I just always feel like I have a target on my back this year, but I know I've worked so hard for this, and I truly trust myself in every shot that I make. So I think just going into it, I just need to have a good mindset, and I have to believe that I can do it because I know I can.
That's awesome. So it's totally, I think probably for those of us that have been paying attention to Detroit sports, we're paying attention to the Lions, and I know Dan Campbell is a guy that a lot of people know and talk about, and he made a comment this past year where he said, we've become we're no longer hunting people, we've become the hunted. And so kind of what you just said, you kind of have a target on your back, and is that because when you walk into the alley, you're kind of the person that people are looking to say, yeah, that's the person I'm trying to go for, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's people that come up to me and it's like, again, like, really, you're up there again, and it's just like, so like, yeah.
Yeah, so you have the target on your back, which is a different thing, but I like how you talked about trusting in yourself. I think you really have to have a lot of confidence to be able to do that, and obviously we wish you just tremendous luck with regionals, and you do such a great job representing our school. Drew, you have also just had an incredible season. You broke several records. You broke the 6-dive school record and actually set the 11-dive school record back in Oxford. So tell us a little bit about that experience. And I guess there's a little story where the coaches didn't even know you broke the record. You didn't even know you broke the record. So talk a little bit about that whole process.
Yeah, so I didn't even know I broke the record until Mr. Sipple emailed me. And yeah, it's super cool to break like a long-standing record in a sport that I love. Mm-hmm. And actually, we had the family, the 3 brothers who had the records.
The Alberti family, right?
Yeah, they came into practice, and it was super cool. I got to meet their families, and they were like congratulating me, and so they were cool about it. But
that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's just like kind of a bonus, showing the hard work paying off. So that's like mostly what I'm taking it as right now.
That's great. That's great. So, as you think about, obviously this next chapter, what's the next path for you? I mean, you have probably some additional competitions coming up, or where things stand?
Yeah, so it's going into championship season. We have conferences next Friday, and then from there go to regionals, and then from regionals go to states. So I think my end of the season goal is like top 3, top 2 at states.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like the top 5 guys in my state meet will probably be like super close, so I think anything could happen.
Okay, so again, it gets back to that mental game when you get there. So, Chase, this has been quite a year for you. 17-3. Obviously, Northville is our closest rival. They're our neighboring community, and you had the opportunity to clinch, beat them on your home floor, cut the nets down. Best season Novi boys basketball has had in a long time. Talk about the year, the experience, and just, the whole journey for you.
So this experience started our freshman year. Or actually, I'm sorry, it started like in 5th grade when like all my friends that are seniors now, we started playing together, and it's just been a great experience from 5th grade to now. We've learned from so much from each other, and so it's been great.
I think you just highlighted something that's oftentimes forgotten about. I think when you think about pro sports and you're watching, athletes that can just come from any place, and it's really about the individual athlete. But you just described something where in 5th grade you started playing with the same group of guys, and that has a pretty big impact. I mean, when you start to learn tendencies of a teammate, right? Why is that? How did that help you against maybe other teams that maybe were even more talented?
Yeah, because we have like a more of like a brother or like a friendship. So we like know what we're gonna do on the court with each other. We don't even have to like talk to each other.
You kind of know what each other's thinking.
Yeah,
but even like where they're gonna cut or where they're gonna be off the ball. It's so important.
Yeah.
And congratulations. What a tremendous season that you've had. So, Camber, you recently qualified for states. You've qualified in multiple events. Talk a little bit about, just how your season has gone. Obviously, you've been just killing it out there, but talk a little bit about kind of some of your success and what comes next for you.
We had a good team this year. I think I obviously qualified individually, which means I'm going to states alone. But our team was pretty solid. I'm really proud of how the season has gone. I mean, I've recently been recovering from some knee problems, so being able to go to PT and kind of still reach like my goals consistently, like making top 10 each meet, was really important to me, and I really was proud of myself in that aspect. Our girls team placed 5th, and we were cut short from the state meet and the and Semsols, which I went to Tuesday. But I still feel like we did a good showing, and I feel like our team is young and will do good in the future.
Well, and it's interesting you talked about you had to overcome some adversity with your injuries and go through all of that. How has that made you stronger, not only as a competitor, but as a young person?
Yeah, it made me realize like I can get through tough things. Like I mean, this like I hurt myself in the spring during soccer, and I just didn't think it'd bother me in the winter. So I started to go to PT when it started when I was skiing, and it's been good. Like I've been dedicated to it and dedicated to getting better, and I think that's helped me on the hill as well because I used to like I practice 60 days a week and stuff. Like I do weekend practices and everything because a lot of girls I'm competing with, they've been racing since they were like really little.
Sure,
so it's
sure.
one of those things where I had to get good fast. But yeah.
Have you ever skied at Nubs Knob?
I have not.
Okay.
So I'm going on Saturday and Sunday, so I'll have
Wow.
weekend training. But yeah, so last year I skied at Highlands, which is right across, and I've never skied there either. I've never raced anywhere as like long and steep as that.
Okay.
So last year my goal was to make it down the hill. I didn't want to fall,
Sure.
and I was able to accomplish that. So I mean, I'll take that into the States, but I also feel like I can do better because I've skied.
That's great.
Somewhere.
That's great. Well, good luck to you too.
Thank you.
So I want to kind of start thinking, and I usually, anytime we have a group of young people on this show, I like to give an opportunity for you to just say what you think a young person that might be out there, you know, we offer a lot of opportunities here. I mean, I think when you think about athletics, sometimes you think about the more traditional things like, well, we have basketball and we have football and we have volleyball and those types of things. And that is true, and soccer and tennis and all those things. But we're here with an exceptionally talented bowler and skier and diver and basketball player. We have a lot of different opportunities for young people to kind of get involved with. So what would be your advice for the younger version of yourself, right? The younger you, you know, maybe you're back to that 5, 6, 7, 10-year-old, you know, that would potentially be thinking about what is it that I'm going to do when I get to high school or so on and so forth. What advice would you give them, you know, as it relates to, you know, what you've learned over this experience? And we can start, Maddy, with you, and we can kind of go this way.
I'd say to definitely just like follow your dreams and do what you want, do what interests you, and don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Because even if it's like unique or different, if it brings you joy, then you shouldn't like quit because other people are telling you that it's wrong or something. You should just be able to do something that you truly love.
Awesome. Love it.
I would say don't be scared to try something new. I mean, I tried skiing and it's something I wasn't even on my radar, but I think trying new things can open you up to a bunch of new opportunities.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I agree because I grew up actually being a baseball player like my whole life, so that was more traditional, and I didn't even think I would. I don't know. I just tried diving because I like doing like flips and stuff, but it's like that was a kind of just random thing that I just fell in love with it. So I just think like just find something that you're passionate about and then stick with it and practice hard. So that'll get you places.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just have fun with the process. 4 years go by really fast, so just have fun with it.
Hard to believe you're a senior already. Isn't it? Yeah. I certainly do understand. So the last thing I want to kind of leave you with and just maybe have you weigh in on, you know, here is I think that there's been a shift in sports and athletics and young people, and I don't necessarily think it's good. When I went to school, I was a 3-sport athlete. That was kind of what it was. You know, you participated in all the school sports. And now what we're seeing is a real specialization, right? Like you have to, you know, focus on one thing. And I'm not sure that that's necessarily the best thing. But what I do think has been interesting is just the amount of dedication, effort, and energy that you put in. So I'd like each of you to just talk a little bit about, you know, kind of what your yearly process looks like for your sport, right? Do you, in the off season, are you lifting? Are you doing any conditioning? Are you getting extra reps? Are you taking extra shots? Do you have to, you know, do extra practice? I think it's no longer that you just compete in your sport during the season that you compete in. It really is a much longer part of your year. And so I'd love for you to kind of describe that experience a little bit. And Drew, we'll kind of go this way and finish with Maddy.
All right, yeah, I think Um, I I started practicing year round after last season with a club Wolverine. It's been really fun because there's extra competitions, and if I want to be the best, then or the best I can be, then I want to make sure I can keep practicing all year round. So I basically have the same schedule all year round. It's just super fun, and I hope I just keep working hard, keep getting better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For basketball, I play all year round. I play on a travel team.
Yep.
So after like this season's over in like March and like April, May,
Okay.
I play with the travel team.
Okay.
Then in June, I play with like the high school team.
Wow.
Then in July, I play with the travel team again.
So it doesn't stop.
Does not stop.
It does not stop. Okay.
I obviously have a different experience. Ski is not a year-round sport.
What, you mean you can't ski on the grass?
Yeah.
Doesn't work?
I mean, yeah, you can't. But I play soccer, so I do that year-round pretty much, except for in the winter.
Yep.
And in the summer, I do some weightlifting and stuff. But I think having the supplemental sports, they're both help me in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to just stay active.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, mine's similar to Chase because I don't think ever since I was 4 there's been a week that I haven't stepped foot in a bowling alley.
Wow.
I practice at least multiple times a week. I'm there, and I'm on as soon as states get done for high school. I immediately go back to my league, and then almost every weekend I have a tournament Saturday or Sunday. It's just it never stops. But
Wow. That's incredible. Well, the 4 of you are super dedicated, and that shows not only in your accolades, but all that you've done for your school and for your sports team. So thank you for everything that you've been able to put forward. It's just been an honor to talk with you. Hope all of you that had an opportunity to watch this episode had an opportunity to learn from some of our incredible young people. Stay tuned. We'll have more episodes coming up next Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week and stay curious.